What's up, everyone? Lord Ryujin here again, and once again, I realize it's been a moment since I have made a video, and I do apologize for that. A lot of stuff going on. Plus, honestly, I've been busy playing a lot of games. I'm actually going to go through it and look and see if there's actually some that I did not mention that I've already gotten. I can't remember what my last pickup video was. I'll have to go back, watch it again, and see if I can find what I purchased since then. And maybe I'll do another one. And then I plan to record my game room and hopefully give you guys a tour of that, because it's pretty much ready. Some last minute changes I could probably do to it, but that's later on down the line. That's neither here nor there. I do apologize for the lack of video content lately. It's just, busy and all that jazz. But what I wanted to talk about was the Xbox One, which, as I stated, I'm more likely going to be picking up for the holidays due to its very generous price drop. But I think it's silly. Because, again, maybe a lot of these people, this is their first console, maybe it's their second one, who knows? But there were actually a lot of people that are upset at the price drop, and the fact that there were early adopters that got suckered into buying it for $500. And first of all, that's you. You got suckered into paying $500 for it. I didn't see the value for it at all. The minute that they said that the PlayStation 4 was going to be $400, and I'm like, But, so why would you spend $500 on an inferior machine? But, anyways, the fact that it's dropped down $150 or whatever it is, yeah, I'm more likely to pick it up. And maybe I'll think it's a good machine then, and I'll change my mind on it. But I am looking forward to having one. But what I'm really getting at is, unless this is your first time getting a console, you should pretty much know this how it works. I mean, shoot, even, 2 or 3 years ago, the 3DS price dropped. I think when it came out, it was initially $250, and I think it dropped down to like $200. And they basically gave everybody the ambassador program that adopted it early. That was a very generous early adopter program. I think that what Microsoft is doing for their early adopters is ridiculous. You're offering people Limbo. Again, I don't know, I haven't been on the Xbox Live store in quite some time, to be honest with you. But last time I checked, I think it was like $10 or something. It wasn't a very expensive game. And you're offering that. That to me is kind of a slap in the face. Even if I was an early Xbox One adopter, I would basically give Microsoft the middle finger. And I don't even give them the middle finger now. I'm not really going to do it on YouTube. But metaphorically speaking, I'm giving them the middle finger because I don't think that that's fair. You're giving people a game that's been out for years. On, like, Steam, it's been offered on, I think, PlayStation Plus for free at one point. It was offered through Xbox Live, which is where I picked it up. I really wouldn't be too surprised if you could find it on a Vita or something. But the fact of the matter is that Limbo has been around for a long time. It's been around for probably 5, 6 years, if not more. I don't remember exactly when it came out. I don't have the information in front of me. But the fact of the matter remains is that Limbo has been out for quite some time, and that's your free game. That's what you're offering to your early adopters. Not, hey, here's 50% off a Kinect, or here is a $20 card to... Or even if you want to give them the price of Limbo and say, here, put it towards what you want. Whether it's avatar items or, part of a, discount of a game or something. Put it towards what you want, or offer them 10% off for one weekend of a purchase or something. I mean, even though most of the games that I got for free as being an ambassador for getting the 3DS within its first weekend, even though most of them were ones that I would never download, I still appreciated the fact that Nintendo was just like, here's Game Boy game, here's Game Boy Advance games, here's NES games, here's a ton of games. Thank you, appreciate that. I don't think that, at least it doesn't feel to me like Microsoft generally cares. I mean, I understand perfectly what the point in getting a system early is. You are a beta tester. You are an early adopter. You're purchasing the system when it still has its glitches, still has its bugs, and it's still getting all of its kinks worked out. And I rarely do that. The only time I do that is with a Nintendo system. I went off and I bought the Wii U. Oh, I'm sorry, I bought the 3DS its opening weekend, because I knew I wanted that. And I would have honestly bought the Wii U its opening weekend if it weren't for the fact that I wasn't working at the time, and there was a lot of stuff to work through, this, that, and the other. So, and then I was also waiting for like the ideal packet, and then they came out with the Zombie U packet, and that seemed perfect. But and now that they're offering this as Xbox One for $330, and you get 2 Assassin's Creed games with it or something like that, it seems like the perfect time to get one. So, yeah, probably definitely going to be picking that up. So look for a video for that if I do. Not sure yet. But the point is that unless this is your first rodeo, this is the first time that you bought hardware, you should be aware of it. I mean, even the PlayStation 3, last generation, was a $600 machine. And then, I want to say it was 3 years. I'm not quite sure the exact amount, maybe 3 or 4 years into its life cycle, it came out with the Slim mode and drastically cut it in half. They said it's $300. Well, that's going to happen again. Microsoft may not want to do it so soon, because the PlayStation 4 is selling relatively well still, from my understanding. But at some point, they're going to come out with a slim model. They're going to come out with a newer SKU for it that's going to probably drop it down to $300, $200, something. I mean, even the Wii U took a price cut, and now the Xbox One is taking a price cut. The PlayStation 4 eventually will take a price cut. I think the Vita's already taken a price cut, if I'm not mistaken. I know its memory cards have. We know that the 3DS has. So there is this history of hardware eventually becoming cheaper, because that's what happens. Even tablets get cheaper. Even cell phones get cheaper as time goes on. Do you really think that, other than getting an iPhone 6, you can't pick up the iPhone 5 for cheap somewhere? It's what happens. It's what happens with technology. Even this computer that I bought, brand new, was pretty much outdated within like a month or so. And now it's really outdated now that Windows 8 is out, and I think Windows 10 is actually coming out next year. So, yeah, it's what happens. And all you do is you either just deal with it or you upgrade. I knew when I bought the Nintendo 3DS what I was getting. It didn't have the internet yet. It didn't have the eShop yet. It didn't have anything yet. But it was still a fun piece of hardware to play the AR games on. And it was still a fun piece of hardware to play Face Raiders and to just go through and see this 3D technology. And then all that stuff came in later, like Netflix and Hulu and YouTube. And I'm very grateful that I have all that now, but none of that was there in the beginning. And that's what happens. You deemed it worthy of $500 when you bought it. If you didn't, like I did, you would have waited, like I have. And you could have now gotten it for $150 cheaper. That's what happens. There's no point in getting upset about it. Do you think that I would be throwing a fit if I spent $500 on a Xbox One? No. Yes, $330 now, great. Microsoft is trying to sell it because it's not selling that well, and it's Black Friday, and they want people to buy it. The holidays are coming around. They got a lot of games that are coming out, especially in 2015. They have a lot of games that they want people to buy, so they have to sell the hardware. I get it. I understand it. And that's just how it is, people. Now, that's my rant in a nutshell. I don't like that Microsoft is offering you Limbo. I think it's dumb. They should offer you something else. Maybe, I don't know, I think Master Chief Collection is the latest must-have title. Like, okay, maybe here's, 20% off the purchase digitally, or something more enticing to early adopters. That's all I'm saying. But at least you're getting something. At least you're getting a free game, even if it is like a very old, like 5-6-year-old game that's been out on everything. But I just want you to understand, in case you weren't aware, that that's what happens. Hardware gets cheaper. And I wouldn't be surprised if within the next year or two we hear about a price drop with the PlayStation 4. And I'm sure that we're probably going to hear whiners for that as well. It's what happens. It's called supply and demand. The Xbox One is not really in high demand right now, so they have to drop the price. And I'm sure that as it gains value, games going for it, people are buying it up, they'll probably, keep it around whatever price it's currently selling at. That's what happens. But I think I got around the circle about that. I pretty much made my point clear. I really wish I had the time to, sit down and have written something out a little bit more than go off the top of my head and just give you guys a little bit better production value video, but I just don't right now, and I apologize. This is just a real quick video, but I do appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, have a good day. I'll see you next time.